Welcome everyone to another best of 5 match out of the round of 32, out of the Passioncraft season. Welcome to one of the most ambitious tournaments on this planet to give those newcomers, those people with potential in Starcraft 2, a stage to play on, to compete with people of their skill level and not to be destroyed by GM players. I have prepared a best of 5 recast for you. Dark Oath Varys is facing Beast Esports Marik. This will be a TVP. We're starting on Purity and Industry right away, and I really like to welcome you on my personal YouTube channel. Enjoy the games and have fun. This will be a one-taker, hopefully, so I hope I don't mess up too hard. Thanks for joining us here. Enjoy the game now, and leave a follow at best. I know, sub. It's named like that on YouTube. I'm coming from Twitch. That's another story over there. Here we go. Purity and Industry. Yeah, well, that's that sick map with those inhibitor zones where your air units getting slowed. You have an island expansion. You have those rich Vespine geysers on the in the yeah, well, let's call it the middle of the map, and you even have a gold base down here. But most important, we have 2 competitors. The one is from Germany. This is the Protoss playing for the Beast Esports, Marik. And he's fighting versus a Terran who is, well, I don't know where he is from, but he's playing for a German team. This is Dark Oath Varys as a Terran, and I am excited. Like, I promised the manager, the host of this tournament, to cast as much as I can. Well, in the first place, it was planned to be casted live, but out of a sudden, Team Liquid Star League kicked in, some other major tournaments made their way into the schedules of a lot of casters, and so even I was occupied and not giving too many live casts on Passioncraft. But I'm trying to give it as much love as I can because I like this format, giving the possibility to Highmaster players to win money, because we have an MMR cap. You cannot go above a certain amount of MMR, and I think it's 5,750. That means at the end of this league format, there will be very close games. So let's head on to the builds, and that is quite fancy already. We are seeing a double barracks opening by Marik into Cybercore, so but we ain't playing PvP here, Mr. Marik. So, I think, yeah, Varys already scouted that one. And he is going for a reaction. He's building that CC up on the high ground to not get shredded by adepts down at the bottom. And he is going for the reactor and the factory. Alright. The CC positioning alone makes this a lot safer. He could go for an additional bunker, maybe. This Reaper actually found a pylon right there. So what is up with that one? There is a probe being sent out, so maybe that was he was planning to have a proxy build right there. Varys was very cautious in scouting on the bottom side as well. Oh lord, he wants to build a robotics bay. Oh my god, there's a Reaper already. He should know. Don't do it. Don't go up that ramp. You are going to suffer. Alright, let's build that that robotics bay anyways. Sorry, robotics facility. I'm always getting mixed up with German and, well, sometimes I'm a sloth. I'm sorry. Wow, that is really kind of odd. I might 2-gate robo. It doesn't sound too bad. That's a lot of pushing potential with a War Prism, and you get something that I would like to call Ghetto Blink. You don't get real Blink, but you can have a War Prism and Micro Stalkers like you would actually have Blink. And it's a thing. It's quite strong. You just have to micro that perfect, and you have a good way to start off your match. Especially when your opponent doesn't have too many units to counter that. Marines, without stim, combat shields, and a couple of marauders with slow, they really do suck versus stalkers. So that tank here is the only real threat at the moment for that push of Marik. So we see a Banshee being built in the back. And Cloak is coming in as well. So, well, that Robo of Marik is standing way outside of his own base. And he wanted to build an Observer. He bet ahead. I bet that was a bad move for him. Because there's a Banshee coming in. Yeah, he is getting the Robo Bay though. Probably we will go for... I don't know. Proxy Disruptors doesn't sound like a cool idea to me. Probably he will go for an early Colossus and try to do some drippy dropping in the economy. I'm just waiting for that Banshee to hit. But it's actually still in the main. Seems like Varys is not too sure if he will need that for defense purpose or he can use it for attack. He's now in possession of 2 tanks, which is really good. So those Stalkers shouldn't be doing too much. Even that reactor, he might lose that one, but it's not too bad. Oh man, that Banshee could have done so much damage already. There's no shield battery in the backline of Marik's main. So all these probes would either be dead, or he would at least force a recall on that Protoss army. And both does actually help to, well, get you not making sure that you're not getting stressed out too much by this Protoss army. We really are seeing a Disruptor come in now. But finally, those Banshees are about to hit. Marik wasn't aware of that. He has 1 Observer out of the map. It's on the other side of that one. And there's the recall. But those Banshee already shredded half of those probes. 11 at the moment. Observer is there as well. But 2 Stalkers need quite some time to finish those Banshees. Holy moly. He's losing the first one. But 16 kills already. Guys, those Banshees are playing off for themselves in gold. 20 probes going down. This is almost back to square one. Marik has 2 bases. Barely 15 workers. And look at this Terran. He's 2 base. But the second base is not in place. Oh wait. So, is this game over or can this go on for some longer? The reinforcement of Marik will be very delayed. And there was a try to focus fire the first Disruptor down. He's trying to split up, but it wasn't enough. So, Marik is not out of this. Probably a couple more tanks would make the play much safer for the Terran. If he's getting rid of those Disruptors, that game is due. Oh, he's killing the tank and SCVs. That was crucial positioning. He needs more Marauders versus those Disruptors. For the Stalkers especially. Could have been dealing with those super easy. But that tank on the top did nothing. And I feel Varys' army is just melting away right now. Well, he did send over a Raven to get additional eco-harassment. I mean, on paper, Varys would have a lot of more reinforcement than the Protoss right here. But the micro of Beast is really good. So look at the trades. It's still even. So the next Disruptor shot might end up this first game. Yeah, he's getting the Marauder as well. SCVs are sent to fight. This is not their typical environment. This is not what they trained for. This is not what they signed up for. But they are forced to fight like that. And just a couple of Marines left. No bunker left here. 21 SCVs went down. It's a comeback for Marik. And he has the superior army supply. He's a little bit stuck on that wall. He's sending in another Disruptor. Nova. And that one hits quite well. Still not the nicest fights I've ever seen. But it's a nice best. It's a nice first map for the Protoss from Germany. 1-0 for Marik. I'm sorry, just getting rid of that introduction. It gets messy after 5 maps. So without further ado, we are jumping into map number 2. This will be Simulacrum LA. Well, names stay the same, but it might be that Brothers is playing a different style now. That was a kind of a weird opener by Marik, but it kind of worked out. He lost so many probes and still managed to kill his opponent. That was astonishing to watch. But probably it was just because of the surprise of his opponent. Let's see how map 2 goes. Here we are. Beast Marik spawning on top left hand side in the blue is in lead by 1 map. He is still fighting the Terran from Team Dark Oath. It's Varys. And I'm very hardly well. Let's have a closer look on the opening of Marik. Because that double gateway opener was something fancy. I did feel it didn't work out too well. But what he did by that opener, he forced Varys to kind of stay one base, to be very defensive. Besides those Banshees, though. That was kind of a lockdown, and that gave him time to bring his own macro at start. And even though there was a second base and he muled his own main, the income was never really superior for the Terran. And usually that is the point at some. So just 1 gateway this time. We have a cybernetic score coming up quite soon. So the Nexus will be delayed for a little bit, and Varys is actually checking the main base. Well, and he knows the spots where to hide those buildings. You get used to scout those spots as well. I can believe that there are Terrans out there to believe, oh shit, he's going proxy. But that kind of building, that kind of SimCity is just being used to make sure that no Reaper is going up this little ladder here. Or let's call it the Reaper stairs, and making fun in the economy line of the protest. So Marik is going for proxy robotics again. This time out of 1 gateway and robo with a stronger macro behind that. Varys isn't aware of that yet. He is getting a reactor on his barracks though. Factory is not... Yeah, well, factory is actually being built right now. And he's still... Oh wait, he saw it. Barely. When this SCV moved down that ramp, he saw that robotics, so... I don't know if Marik is aware that he was scouted right there. But he needs to care about it. Wait, is that a 1 base all in? That's 3 gate robo coming up. 2 additional gateways are being built in the main of Marik, so he is not stopping now. He is going for 3. He is going for... Wait, are those 4 gateways soon? Wait a minute. He got 2 already. He's building 2 additional gateways. So that's a 4 gate with a robotics facility. So he will just be stuck and warping zealots from at a certain point. Varys needs to prepare for that. And he needs to prepare for that like yesterday. Bunkers don't help too much versus Immortals. So at best you're getting out a Banshee. And he's on the way to do so. Oof. If you can kick out a Viking, you might end up killing that Warp Prism as well, but that's something I wouldn't bet money on. Oh my god. This is going to be either very frustrating for one of those players. Well, it will be frustrating for one of those players, or it will be very satisfying for the other one. Is it good though? The Warp Prism is, yeah, used like an elevator right here. Marines are waiting on the top. At best, you can snipe that Warp Prism. Tank is in a very good position. He's focusing down the first Stalkers. That tank is getting repaired. Gets out an additional shot. He's losing the 1 Stalker though. And Marik is not keeping a clean micro right there. Can reach the Warp Prism. No, cannot. And vision to the high ground is still established, so no free trades for this Marine. The second tank is joining the fight. We have a Banshee. Cloak's not finished yet, and I feel like Varys is not ready to use it yet. Or maybe he's sending it over right now. But Marik has an observer. He might even spot it. There's no cloak right now. He has no way to save it. He saw it. The German Protoss player is engaging on that badge. He is barely getting out of the way, but just for a couple of split seconds. Wow, that's a long way down. Hopefully there's nobody on the streets. Like, oh my god, it's raining banshees. So that bunker being repaired is very crucial. That's his only anchor in this game. The tank can get out a couple of shots. And he's actually killing some stalkers. So keep in mind, Marik was playing this out of one base. And the punch he needed to follow through, to punch a hole into Varys' base, that punch is still missing. He's still fighting Marines and tanks right here. Where's that Banshee actually? Oh, it went down. Sorry. I'm 32. I forget stuff pretty easy. I was like, hey, he should kill probes right now. No, he isn't. Because the Banshee is dead and Bel Air is a slacker. Alright, that tank is getting repaired again. And this time we have force fields around the bunker, which are denying that positioning for SCVs to take to actually repair that one. Very good engagement by Marik. Like, can he keep on pushing through? He is missing a lot of workers. Look at this income tab. I mean, Varys had to pull workers, which is kind of bad for his economy. And he's getting out another Banshee. I'm not quite sure if this tank might be a better position around here, so he could shield the other tank. I mean, 13 range is nice. So if that tank can shoot here, the other ones should still be in range. I don't know where this tank is going. Like, Marik is going for it. He did send one adept in the back to distract that tank. That's not really working out. Bunker is being rebuilt, and again, it didn't really help out. So that Banshee finally made its way over. Wow, what the fuck? That was F2. That was clearly F2. I'm sorry. That Banshee could have been so good right now. But he F2'd and it was moving back and forth. So that bunker is back again. And Marik is already playing Disruptors again, like on the last map. And that was a very hard unit for Varys to kill. So that Banshee is actually, well, getting a couple of probe kills. But not too many. I don't know what that Viking is searching for. So I'd call that a misrally. Not the best trade right here. But it's training Marik's attention, so might be okay. Keep in mind, Marik is still behind in workers, but with such purification overs, you can get into a pushing position quite easily. Wow, that was sufficient. That was actually gorgeous to watch. He's building additional disruptors, by the way. I mean, the army supply is very low on both players. So what Varys needs to do right now is just stack up units, getting more medivacs, getting more marauders, marines, but he is losing in tons of units here to those golden globes thrown out by Marik. He still has 2 tanks though, so it's getting quite expensive if you're just pushing in there. Especially with stalkers who get a lot of bonus damage from those tanks. Okay, alright, he is trying to snipe that bunker again. It's getting repaired, but not for long. Wow, what a hold-on challenge here for Varys. I mean, he is down 1 map already. He doesn't want to be down 2 maps because it's so easy. It is so easy to be cheese in the 3rd map as well. But that's really a lot of passion Marik bringing in here. So he's getting rid of that tank. The natural of Varys is getting more and more open. That bunker is not being rebuilt in time. The tanks are getting out a couple of very nice shots, but Varys is out with a bold move. He's unloading all those marauders, going for the disruptor kill. More or less. He has to care about his natural expansion as well, which is getting slightly attacked now. But he manages to follow through. He can now punish that proxy robotics. He can even take out that pylon. And in the main, he seems to be stabilizing as well. Sim, Combat Shields, and Concussive Shell. The slow on those Marauders is really doing a good job. Most Disruptors cannot really get away. Those Stalkers are missing Blink, by the way, and Varys might even catch those units on their way to freedom. Back to home, they get totally demolished by those few units, and he's even killing the Warp Prism, I'm sorry. Oh my god, imagine Warp Prisms being able to heal. No way you would play Starcraft 2 anymore, but that was a very nice pickup, and he's even bringing the boys into the fight. He is going in with 50 army supply, and there are no Disruptors left, no AoE damage, so Dark Old Valorous is evening out this series, and we're having a 1-1 right there. That was so hard pressure by Marik. He wanted that so bad. Very nice Disruptor plays, but the macro advantage, the disadvantage especially for the Protoss was too big, because he was starting all this from one base and he didn't have the chance to trade against something else than army. He was just fighting the Terran army instead of killing SCVs in a very high number, and he didn't manage to do so. So on the next map in this best of 5 will be on Nightshade LE on the Ladder edition. And both players have a point, so guess we're seeing at least 4 maps. And here we are again, representing Beast Esports, top left hand side, calling out GLHF. It's Beast Marik. I really like those two players. I know both clans like a little bit. I see them more often here and there on streams, and I really like those two players. They're still kind to each other, even though they are cheesing a little bit. This is representing Team Dark Oath. This is the Terran Varys. He was down one map, but he managed to hold out versus Marik on the second map. And yeah, let's see. Maybe that is pushing him a little bit further in terms of this mindset. Yeah. When you go into best of 5, for example, you start off with a bad setup in your mind, like, oh my god, he's so much better, I can never kill it. And finally you take a map. What is happening in your brain? Yes, you feel confident. Because you know, okay, I got a map out of this guy. If he can bleed, I can kill him. So, Marik did start to bleed, so let's see if he's going to be punished a little bit more. We don't see a proxy by Varys right now. He seems to be one of those solid macro players who never is going to cheese. Playing more like the safe game. Oh well, he's missing a couple of SCVs right there. I don't know if you... Okay. Wait. He could have had like one SCV more. He was building that engineering bay. I feel like he was going for the very early CC, even before the orbital command was finished. But he decided to put a little sneaky on Marik. By that engineering bay block, you're forcing the Protoss to build a Zealot. And Protoss hate to build Zealots in the early game. They really suffer from it. Usually you wait until you can build up the first adapts, because those can easily deal with Reapers. If you're building a Zealot, oh damn, that's basically just 100 minerals in the trash can. Because without charge, I mean, what do you do with the Zealot? Running very slow behind units. I mean, look at it. This is like Usain Bolt and Jumbo Schreiner. I don't know if you know him. The bigger guy from Pro 7. You will never reach him, but that's just a pure mistake by Varys. You're not meant to lose a Reaper versus a Stalker. Not like this. That was even off creep, Copper. Since we have no Zerg in the games, you know, it's... I heard it's bad to have fights off creep. So, in TVP, every fight is bad for the Terran, right? Because... Well, no. Every fight is good because you're fighting... I'm sorry guys, it was very late last night, and I'm apologizing for me being a stupid asshole. I should more focus on the game. But those NA cups really making a mess to my sleeping rhythm. So will it be Banshees again for Darko Ferris? I feel it. He could go for a Raven though to counter observers. And maybe throwing an anti-armor rocket in those stalkers, because that's a unit we're clearly going to be seeing. Blink is coming in. We have 3 gateways, and robotics is kind of late. This might even be a blink all in. I mean, imagine you have a warp prism out here, you get into the main base once, and you snowball because of the fact that you can snipe the first tank coming out or something like that. If those marines don't have a safe home like this bunker here, they are worthless until there are medevacs. And if you don't have those blink stalkers just make a huge mess in the Terran main base. But until the warp prison is there, Marik cannot really push out. He needs to be careful, because let's pretend Varys wouldn't play Banshees. He would probably be playing Widowmine drop, and that's a crucial timing where you have to look out for. Sometimes your blink is in time, and I feel like that is the main reason why Marik is taking it so early. Because if the Terran's flying in with a medevac and he's like, hey, no problem, I'm getting out my Widowmine to just kill 2 probes, bam, there's blink, and you're losing a full medevac and your Widowmines, and you just kill 2 probes. That's something you don't want to see. But he is playing Banshees, so never change the running system. So stalkers are blinking down. Where's that observer? There's one in the main base and one down here. So Varys is instantly backing off. He shouldn't. Well, he didn't needed to, because the observer wasn't in position as well. But it's better to keep that Banshee alive and to force Marik to actually have, well, army supply committed right here. So is there a second Banshee? Yeah, it's joining the other one, and through the middle we see a big track of tanks and marines. So he is just trying to poke in here, that's what I assume. And on the other side, he wants to position his tanks somewhere here. Did Marik catch that by any chance? He saw those tanks now. By the way, shield batteries do nothing versus 2 Banshees, which might be shooting synchronized. Alright. Oh, there's... Whoa! Those tanks are not being sieged yet. The stalkers are going for one after another. The marines, they don't have help. Those tanks have been missing out a couple of shots as well. That was a micro mistake by Varys. He wasn't either prepared to see the Protoss so far out in front of his own base, or he was just overwhelmed by the engagement. Those Banshees are doing quite okay. Well, you can blink, but observers don't. That was the correct use of Banshees, but I feel a little sad for Varys' rest of the army. But he's still not out of the composition of this competition. His third CC, his third orbital command. I'm so sorry. I should be more specific. That's actually moving down, and in terms of workers, I see Marik in a very bad position. And those Banshees, dude, they can come back. They will harass you again. But that Colossus might be very late to the party. We have 42 army supply on both sides. Terran is actually getting +1 stim, combat shields. And the good Terrans, for example, they move out before those... They would move out before those upgrades finish. Varys didn't. Oh, he's just right blinking into this Widow Mines. They're getting beautiful shots here. But Varys might be in need of some help from God or something. He is burrowing additional Widow Mines. But those are just killing. I don't even know what that was. Alright, Banshees are coming in. We have 3 observers on top of those, so no way he can hide from the stalkers of Marik. BZ Esports Marik seems to be punching a big hole into the army of Varys, and those charge words will do a mess in the space because we have no medevacs and there's no healing. SCVs are being pulled, but 14 lost on the way of just holding this attack. And keep in mind, there are Colossus coming. There's the first one, second one is in production line, and this one is on the edge of getting extended permanence. So 9 range versus 7, which is an okay range already, because everything Varys has doesn't have that exact range. And since there's no bunker, I just see a dead natural base here. And you see, Marik is he's cautious. He doesn't want to commit too much. Probably he's just waiting for Varys to throw the workers at him anyways, because he wouldn't need to pull those to get rid of this army. And instead of positioning yourself in a bad position, let your opponent do so. So, the Zealots are making way for the Colossus. Here's the second one. Extended Permanence is being finished, and there's barely army left. You could even micro those Colossus with that War Prism. Beautifully the showcase of Beast Marik, getting the 2-1 out here. Beautiful push, beautiful executed. Sadly, Varys had a big mistake when he was pushing out onto the third of the base himself. On the third base of the Protoss, for example. The tanks were in siege. He totally was caught off guard. So there is a fourth base with a potential of a match ball. That means Marik just needs to win that one, and he will advance to the round of 16. Are you ready for Eternal Empire LE? I hope so, because I'm starting it, and I ain't waiting for you guys. Here we are. This guy has 2 points in this best of 5. He's playing Protoss quite well. He did go for a very fancy opening on Purity and Industry, but Beast Marik is leading versus Dark Oath Varys, who really, well, did a good job in just holding on the second map. But in terms of engagement, I feel like he might be missing a little bit of multitasking. Yet he had a good macro, but he was totally caught off guard on the last map with his push. He basically lost 3 tanks for free and a couple of marines. They probably shot just like 2 or 3 stalkers, I don't know, but not enough. His Banshee micro, for example, is magnificent. It's really well, almost mysterious how he can punch like 11 or 12 probes in the mineral line and get away with 2 Banshees. Even though Marik had Blink, for example. So that is something he should rely on. His Banshee plays are very good. But the timing pushes I've seen from him, man, I cannot say that those look pretty. That would be lying. So it looks like Marik is going for a proxy play. And on Eternal Empire, I'm just expecting one kind of proxy. It's the Stargate, because you have this wide space here and the space here just to disengage, because ground units cannot follow you. So as soon as you get out of Widow Mine or Marine range, you're out of there. And this is the main reason a lot of Terrans make sure they get a Viking early and they get a Cyclone early to defend this space. Let's see what he's going for. Oh, he's going for the scout! Oh, hello. Wait, he's getting a factory... a robotics facility right there? Marik is doing it again. It feels like he's really up to those disruptor proxy plays. I did something... I wouldn't call it a gamble, but it's high risk and high value build. There are 2 options for those disruptors. They either hit nothing, or they destroy the whole planet. If you get option B, Mate, you just straight up can win this, even in the early. Because the enemy doesn't have that much of army. But if you miss, and for example just get 1 marine instead of 4 marauders, you have a big problem. And that problem is bio attack power. So let's see, where's the starport being built? In the back line. In the very back. Where is getting a tank? Marines being produced. Natural expansion is ready. And Marik is, well, once more going for the same build as last time. Can Varys adapt to this? He does know that there's no natural expansion. He does know that Marik is trying to make something happening here. It worked on the last map. Oh, that shield battery just finishing up right in time. Well, that will take some time to take out a probe. In the meanwhile, the war is commencing onto his main base. Well, he's getting a depot here. First tank is there. West. Alright, he's building up the Banshee, and Cloak is coming in as well. Can Varys defend this? I don't like that he's trying to defend this at on the low ground. He should have been floating that orbital command into the main right away, because it's easier to secure this area with 1 or 2 tanks instead of this. Like it's so much more surface you have to take care of. And if you're trying like that, there's always the point where stalkers can just sneak in. Now Varys is, well, temporarily supply blocked, but this can have a huge impact. Oh well, that Reaper's still alive. Killing at least 1 probe, and that Stalker. Oh! He didn't get a shot out! That is... Was that miss micro, or did he barely get out of range? Lucky for Varys, that Reaper is staying alive. So what does Marik know right now? He does know he's on 1 base play as well, even though he is getting a second Nexus. But he didn't see the starport yet. Varys actually has more army supply. Uh-oh. Where's that war prison? Why is it so far away from those troops? Okay, there's no stim yet. That means those units can easily get out of the way. Oh, why is he moving like that? Trying to kill that tank. Beautiful micro here by Varys, but he seems not to be killing that immortal in time. But that is something you have to avoid. If you're willing to snipe a tank, you either snipe it and stay in, but you don't have to ignore those marines in the front line. Purification over number 1. Wow, that was devastating. 5 kills and a lot of 5 marine kills and a lot of damage on that tank. There still is someone left. Alright, we have the Reaper and the Banshee. And there's nothing at home for Marik. So 2 Banshees synchronized. 1 shot, 1 probe. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's count together, boys. 7, 8, and Marik is still on the 1 base play. Keep that in mind. So he's losing so many probes. Cannot afford to. It's 15 lost probes already. What is going on right here? Disruptors are worthless against that, by the way. There's just 1 Stalker on the front line. Is he totally ignoring those 2 Banshees? He cannot! But he has no Observer. He doesn't know. Now the Observers are coming in. But the Observer is still slower than Banshees. Can he get out? Yes, with 1 of those. Wow. 30? He lost 30 probes. There's just 2 workers left on the Protoss side. Man, I don't want to hang out of the window, but I'd say that macro game isn't a macro game any longer. You see that production tip? I see a lot of progress for the Terran. For the Protoss, not so much. So, Varys is fighting a Protoss stuck on 7 Stalkers and 2 Disruptors. And that Banshee is still around. Yikes. I told you at the start of this map, he should stick to that Banshee place. And he did. And by that, he basically won the map. We have multiple Widow Mines being produced. Stim is ready in a couple of seconds. 51 army supply versus 24. By the way, Marik lost all of his workers. He just has 40 minerals. So he cannot even build anything right now. Because Protoss doesn't have mules. So he is really stuck on 2 disruptors and 7 stalkers. He cannot get any more of army supply. I don't know if any Protoss Pro would have been well, capable of doing so, but he definitely isn't. It's 2-2. Varys from the Team Dark Office coming back into the series, and we are having a 5th map. Whoa! I'm expecting more Banshees and more Disruptors, but let's see how this is going to work out. I'm sorry, just had to answer someone very badly. Alright, the last map is Zene LA. So if you want to have a fancy cheese, that's the map to go to. Enjoy yourselves. Passioncraft, map number 5 between Varys and Marik. Here we go. A really astonishing best of 5 so far. I really like it. So, Dark of Varys is the Terran on this last map on Senali. He's playing a rather... well, he is very decisive, I feel like. He is a fan of Banshees. We learned that. Most of the times he was able to scout what his opponent is doing, which I really like. Not always with the right counter builds, but he manages to even out this series, and that is a strong sign to Beast Marik. So it all comes down to this last map. Beast Marik, though, he is a fan of disruptors, proxy plays, and he likes those robo plays as well. So, wow, Varys is changing his plans. He is going for... Is that Doppelrex Pro proxy? Oh no, look at this. Look at this, those rally points. Beast Marik will be seeing that right away. He even clicks in the corner. He knows he can directly attack those S3s. There's no real help. So he might be finishing up one of those barracks. But I never see 2 barracks be finishing right here. Wow. Cancelling the second barracks doesn't even help really, to be honest. Does he have a gas at home? Yes, he has. He is building 1 Reaper. Okay, so what do we basically have right now? It's a proxy Reaper opening, which was scouted already. Marik was already closing this jump up position for Reapers. He's getting in first zealot, but as soon as the cybernetics core is finished, there will be an adept, and this early will lose a lot of its power. This bunker, though, might be a problem. But just in terms of blocking, it never will be finished. I don't see it. Alright, there is still trying, getting a second Reaper. And there's Marik with a proxy pylon as well. Probably with a Stargate, with a Robo. I don't know. A Stargate, for example, would, given the capability of producing oracles to have vision on Banshees, which might probably come handy on this map. And you can easily build some Phoenixes, for example, to gain map control and control drops off the Terran. But Varys is finally taking out that Zealot. The Stalker is alone in the main base. Well, he has a buddy though, but the... Oh well, you finished the bunker. So, no natural expansion. Not soon for Marik. Okay, he was delaying that for the last 2 games as well. Does he need it though? He is building up a robotics facility. So that means he is going for that immortal War Prison play again. And he's stuck with it. So what's the best to have against that? Vikings? Against the War Prison? Yes. Banshees? If IP varies, I would put those flying helicopters on the map again. Because until now, they gave him so much value. Basically, Banshees won all the maps you won. And this best of 5 wasn't about timing pushes, it wasn't about it was about harassment and having the correct units at the correct time. Right, that bunker is being split apart. Marine is running for his life and yikes. Well, the barracks is coming back into the main. He's losing a lot of build time on Marines, for example, right now. But man, those two Reapers are still alive. I mean, there's one Stalker in the main base left over. Now, there's no real way to get into this Ecolino as well. So Marik is coming in with 20 army supply. There's just one tech, and second one is being built right now. There's a Viking coming up. No Banshee this time. Can Varys make us? Tank is being... It was repaired for a couple of split seconds. That Viking might be coming too late. Wait, where is it? Where's the Viking? Did he cancel it? Was it lost? He lost the Viking. Oh my god, I just didn't see it. It's Marik. He's taking this series 3-0. 3-2, I'm sorry. Oh my god, I should go to bed again. I'm sorry for all those mistakes and misleading sentences I point out. But in the end, Beast Marik is taking the series 3-2. Dark of Varys really did put up a good fight, but in the end, it's a German Protoss from Team Beast taking it all. Well, more games to come in the near future. I will try to upload one Passioncraft best of 5 series every day right now. And I will cast all of those in English because the plays are international. My usual content is German, but I want to just to say thank you to everybody who is competing in this. That is including the English people as well. So if you like the replay, share it around. Subscribe on YouTube. Join my Twitch channel where I mostly cast in German. But just thank you for enjoying the games and cheer for your favorite player. See you next time, your Belair.